If you or someone you love is large or fat and tired of being the brunt of discrimination or feeling like a failure, please take a moment. After listening to this, please pass it on until every large person gets this message. You will never regret listening, but may always regret not listening. Harassment of children and adults who are fat stops now. Please don't despair and don't waste one more day waiting for your personal weight loss miracle. You've tried all the weight loss programs many times, but it isn't you who failed. Weight loss programs have failed. TV programs have failed. If even one of them worked, the weight loss industry would have gone bankrupt long ago. We as a nation are getting fatter for whatever reason. Let the critics go after whoever they like. The fact remains that we are getting fatter. So stop apologizing for being you. You are large now. This is your life. Now is the time to live your life. Get on with it. Now get ready, because here are the irrefutable facts that you know in your body and soul to be true. 2/3 of us are overweight, and 1 in 3 is obese or super fat. And fat people are in the majority. In between sexy food commercials, the media is rife at the moment with fat-losing programs. If I speak the truth, comment on your blogs accordingly. About your favorite commercials or programs. The FDA, by the way, estimates that at least half of all those programs are misleading. A professor at Seattle University says that the weight loss industry is worth up to $315 billion this year. That's nearly 3% of the overall U.S. economy. That's right, the obesity epidemic you've been hearing about is worth billions. Every skinny TV star, movie star, guru is on the bandwagon. Every psychologist from Dr. A to Z, and every personal trainer has an herb, a diet, a powder, a shake, pills, surgeries, you name it. So if there are so many weight loss programs guaranteed to work, why are we all getting fatter? Again, that's because 95% of diets fail. Read the small print and you will realize why it is so bad. It often says something like results are atypical or results may vary. And here is the proof that they may vary. If just one of these fat-busting products worked, then the fat loss industry would have been gone long ago. You wouldn't need one of them. Think about it. Some of the diets will create a small weight loss, initially of, say, 18 to 25 pounds. If that is what you seek, chances are you probably shouldn't have been on a diet in the first place. Don't misunderstand me. If you are one of the fortunate 5% who have had some satisfactory loss and maintained weight loss by any diet or program or person who's been assisting you, then bless you. Congratulations. Now, what about the TV weight loss shows featuring thin experts and their before and after subjects? Well, it turns out that 2/3 of those famous weight loss losers, as they're called, will disappear from the celebrity's entourage once their body's fat cells have ferociously refilled themselves. So within 2 years, almost all weight loss stars regain every ounce and then some. No longer poster children or champions. They are cast off as if they're yesterday's news. That's when they balloon up, and that's when I may hear about them. Away from the talk show, TV cameras, in real life, every day, Fat people are in trouble. They are bullied, harassed, mistreated, and most importantly, denied compassion, caring, and justice. So why am I discussing this now? Long before the days of Dr. Phil, Dr. Oz, and even that fictional character, Dr. Fraser Crane, I was Dr. M, a radio media doctor. I can tell you that after 3 decades, I would be remiss as a large physician if I didn't make this clear. Yes, it is unhealthy to be fat, but sometimes it is even more unhealthy to try and force a human being to be what they cannot be. You must listen. Some years ago, I appeared on the Montel Williams show to discuss living large and that sort of thing. He was, by the way, a very kind and hospitable host. He asked me, Dr. Mo, how much do you weigh? And I said, I will answer that question, Montel, but first, please answer me this. Without makeup on, what tone is the color of your skin? And without shaving, just how bald are you? How much hair do you have underneath you? Well, he laughed. He thought this was hysterical. He was a good sport. He said, I get your point, Dr. Mo. What difference does it make what I weigh or what a person looks like? It is just a morbid curiosity. How does it physically affect a human being if that human being is large or small or a different color? I, as it turns out, have some knowledge of fat hatred. But prejudice is a learned behavior, and children are the product of what we teach them. Well, we must have taught them well. And I tell you that none of these is as intense as the last socially acceptable prejudice, the horrible prejudice against fat. Now, some people think of fat as an addiction or an obsession, maybe a weakness. So be it. Some people will never think otherwise, of course. Look around you. We are fat. We're getting fatter. Think about some of the recent cases, like the bus monitor case in New York. It stirred people up. And I once watched a prominent tennis pro verbally attack a umpire to get off his fat ass. And not only was that allowed, it was unchallenged, and little was made of it by the television commentators. Why is that? They make an issue of almost everything, but not this. A few years ago, you may have recalled that a fat 12-year-old in Australia was abused by a bunch of local bullies. After putting up with a life of abuse from all sorts of people, he took up his tormentor and body slammed him to the ground. That ridicule came from somewhere. Remember, children are the product of what we teach them, and I say to you, enough is enough. Large people, enough is enough. You don't have to take this anymore. You represent a majority of millions. And I must tell you, in perspective, maybe you are experiencing the scorn and derision of doctors, of family members. If the world is telling you that you're a big, fat, stupid, ugly loser, and you are somehow weak, and if you just would follow the popular advertised plan, that you would achieve salvation of weight reduction, that you need to buy their book or their plan, or their powder or their pill or their shake, in order to achieve redemption, well, listen carefully. This message is for you. Fatness is not a lifestyle choice, as if people choose to be harassed the rest of their lives. It's not a lifestyle choice. This large physician is telling you, you are not inferior. You're not alone. You are loved. You can be somebody. You are one of millions. You are good. You are worthy of the best health care that all good people deserve. I do have to leave you for a while, but in part 2 of this series, you are going to hear about the war against obesity. Just how deep is this last socially acceptable prejudice? The prejudice that affects us all our lives, crosses every race and gender barrier. What you can do to get on with your life. Remember, people say, you've heard about the sad victim of anorexia or the sad poor victim of bulimia, but when was the last time you heard about the sad victim of fat? Please blog kindly. Goodbye for now. We'll see you shortly on the next installment.